All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Haley Orton. I'm the Director of Academic Advising for the College of Engineering. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll let my colleagues introduce themselves.
I'm already unmuted. So, hi everyone. My name is Sarah Ocampo. I'm one of the College of Engineering advisors. Very nice to meet you. I'm sure I met most of you at orientation. Now, popcorn shark.
I'm Sharik, he, him pronouns. I'm another advisor in the college. I work with Haley and Sarah. Nice to meet you.
All right. And of course, you all know what we're here for. We are talking about change of major into the College of Engineering, or between majors within the College of Engineering. This presentation is for students admitted to fall 2025. This is not an appropriate session for transfer students. Transfer students are not permitted to change their major into engineering. Um, and the other caveat I would like to give is that our office is actually not responsible for kind of the change of major process. It really is held within each of the departments. Although we do have some college-wide policies, which we will cover. Typically, we will be redirecting many of your questions to the department who offers the major that you are trying to change into. Or add. So if you are interested in double majoring, the same kind of rules and regulations apply. Uh, let's get started. So again, only students who join the campus as freshman applicants can change majors. Students who applied as transfers cannot change into or switch between or add a COE major. There are no exceptions to this policy. Students must complete at least 30 UCSB units, but no more than 6 regular quarters before changing major. Students may be in their last required change of major courses in their 6th quarter. Some majors require that students be accepted to their major before the 6th quarter, and we will go over that in detail. The college does not approve any exceptions to the requirements, especially the 6th quarter requirement. You must have a backup plan. So, change of major is not guaranteed and is very competitive. So, you should have a backup plan of another major in your current college, or yeah, if you're in letters and science, it should be in your current college. It is crucial to keep up with classes in your current major or in your backup major. So please do talk to a College of Letters and Science advisor about what that backup major is, and how to keep up with that. Few more things. So again, students who are pursuing a double major or dual college double major must follow these same requirements. Students may not declare a double major within the College of Engineering. So when we say double major, we mean dual college double major. Students already declared in an engineering major must also follow these same requirements. Being an engineering major does not give you access to other engineering courses outside of your major, so that can still be a challenge for all students. So I want to talk about physics. So for some of you, physics might be your backup major. Physics has some very specific requirements that must be completed in the first year to maintain eligibility for the physics major. So they've asked us to pass along this information to you. We are not physics advisors, so cannot really answer questions about the physics major requirements. So this is what they have said. Or what we are saying is physics courses are a graduation requirement for all computer or College of Engineering majors except computer science. Computer science has some options. Physics is one of them, as part of their science elective requirements. All majors in the College of Engineering will accept the Physics 20 sequence. So the physics department does not accept the 7 sequence, which is the sequence most engineering students take. Taking the Physics 7 sequence instead of the Physics 20 sequence will remove physics as your backup major option. Do not mix and match physics sequences without specific guidance from a physics academic advisor. The first course of the physics sequence is Physics 21. It is offered this quarter with fall and winter. You need to start this sequence in your first year to stay on track in the physics major. If you are accepted into a COE major before you've completed the Physics 20 sequence, you will be given individual advising on how to complete the requirements for your new major. But typically, that means finishing out the Physics 20 sequence. A lot of folks ask us, what are my odds? It's hard to say. We are not aware of all students who are pursuing the change of major requirements. So we can't say this number of students started in the fall trying to make this switch, and eventually this number got in. We don't have that data, so we can't say. Again, meeting the minimum requirements only offers the possibility of changing majors. Each department has a limited number of seats to fill. They will accept the strongest applicants based on GPA and progress in the coursework. So, to give you a sense of last year, the year that just ended, this is the number of change of majors from outside of COE into COE in each of the 5 engineering majors. I will say these numbers have varied quite a bit over the years. So that is more chemical engineers than are typically allowed. I think it is less CEs and EEs that have been typically allowed to change major. So although this is meant to give you a sense of the numbers, I do caution that things could change a lot for this year, and I don't know in what direction. I don't know. So there's just a lot of unknowns in this process, unfortunately. All right, so now we're going to go through one by one each of the majors and talk about what the requirements are to be considered for a change of major. So we'll start with chemical engineering. In chemical engineering, you must have at least a 3.0 UC GPA, and you may apply at the end of your first year or the end of your second year. There's different requirements based on that timeline. Decisions are made over the summer once the spring quarter grades are in. There's minimum required courses, which we've highlighted in yellow. And there's also recommended coursework that we've highlighted in green. So in all College of Engineering majors, we accept the Math 2A or 3A, 2B or 3B options as well. And then 4A, 4B, 6A, 6B are all the same for all majors. In Chem E, you are required to take the first year chemistry sequence, and they accept either the 3 sequence, which is for chemistry majors or Chem E majors, and then as well as the 1 sequence, so 1 ABC. And then the labs as well. Chem E5 is also a required course, and the recommended courses again are in green, and they include the physics courses, engineering 3, Chemie 10, and 110 A and B. So if students who are applying at the end of the second year must have the Chemie 10 and 110 AB courses completed. And students must meet with a chemical engineering advisor to review this process, ideally in their first quarter, if not within your first year. So Erica and Jasmine, the contact information is listed for them at the bottom there. There are the Chemie advisors. They will answer any questions you have about completing these courses or getting into the major. All right, next we'll look at computer engineering. You must have at least a 3.0 UC GPA to be eligible for this major. You must meet with the advisors, Beth or Joanna, within your first year. And again, there are 2 application windows, winter or spring of sophomore year. So this major requires that you take over a full year of coursework before they will even consider you for a change of major. You must complete at UCSB 5 required courses with at least a 3.5 or better, and that's the first attempts only. The minimum required courses are in yellow, and those include, I wonder if I wrote that wrong. No, I'm reading this again. So you have to have at least 5 of the following, at least 2 in computer science, CS 16, 24, 32, or 40, and at least 2 from ECE, 10A, 10AL, BBL, and CCL. Those are all considered one course, even though you are signing up for the lecture and the lab. You must have at least 2 of the ECE courses for a total of 5 courses. In the blue there, we have indicated which courses are prerequisites to the courses you will be taking. So for instance, Computer Science 16, which is one of the required courses, you have to have at least ECE 3 or Computer Science 8. There are AP equivalents of Computer Science 8. in order to take CS16. And another example, you must have taken Physics 7B to take ECE 10A. So that is although it's not listed as a required course, in essence, it is a required course. So again, the computer engineering advisors, Beth and Joanna, their contact information is listed at the bottom of the page, and you must meet with them in your first year to be eligible for this process. Computer science. So you must have at least a 3.0 UC GPA. They are calculating your change of major and your coursework GPA based on your UC courses only. So many of you might have AP coursework for some of this, so that doesn't carry any GPA weight. You must submit your application by week 4 of the quarter that you're completing the required coursework. And when we say application, that's actually a form on their website. But again, the week 4 deadline is important. Denied applications are not eligible for appeal. So this major does have quite a bit more flexibility. Some students will complete the requirements earlier than as shown. So it's important that you note this week 4 deadline, but also know that once you have applied, that's kind of your chance for that. You must complete the following courses with a 3.2 or higher: computer science 16, 24, or 40, or they also accept math 8 instead of computer science 40. Completion of the following courses with at least a 3.0 or higher are the math courses. So math 2A or 3A, 2B or 3B, 4A and 4B. Computer science 24 must be taking at UCSB. So we know that these courses can be difficult to get into. So some students say, like, well, I will go take it elsewhere. Well, it's very important that you take computer science 24 here to be eligible for change of major. The prerequisite requirements, again, are highlighted in blue. That's just computer science 8, again, as a prerequisite to computer science 16. You may have a computer science 8 equivalent through AP work. Crystal and Rosalind are the major advisors for computer science. Their contact information is listed there. It is not a requirement that you meet with them. So if you do have follow-up questions, you should contact them, but you do not have to meet with them to remain eligible for the change of major. Okay, electrical engineering. You must have at least a 3.0 UC GPA. You must meet with the advisor within your first year, and there's 2 application windows. So very similar to computer engineering. It takes over a year of coursework to be eligible for the change of major. Your major advisors are Beth and Joanna. Must meet with one of them in your first year. Satisfactory completion at UCSB of 5 required courses, which at least a 3.5 or better, first attempt only. So the minimum required courses are highlighted in yellow, and the prerequisite courses are highlighted in blue. You must take at least 2 math courses from Math 4B, 6A, or 6B, and then then you would need, for a total of 5 courses, you need to take some ECE courses as well, which are listed there. Although the plan on the screen is showing ECE 15A in junior year, again, you do have to have all these requirements met before the end of your 6th quarter. So you would have to take that earlier if that is going to be one of your 5 courses. Prerequisites, again, are listed in blue and must be completed or taken alongside the required coursework. So being very cautious about what the prerequisites are for the required courses and knowing when you take those to be on track to take the required courses is important. Mechanical engineering. So last but not least, you must meet with an advisor within fall quarter and report all required course grades to the mechanical engineering advisor quarterly. The advisors are Caitlin and Roy. Students will be notified if they're selected for a change of major after fall quarter of sophomore year. So because you are known to the advisors, you're quarterly reporting grades, they're kind of keeping track of everything in the background to see who maintains their eligibility, and they select from that group who will be eligible to change major at the end of fall quarter of sophomore year. So this major does not allow you all the way through 6 quarters. This is a different, stricter timeline. You must complete eight core courses, which are listed in green, with at least a 2.0 GPA. So those are math, physics, engineering, chemistry, mechanical engineering courses. There are required courses. Those are in yellow, engineering 3, mechanical engineering 14, and 17. So again, being very cautious with prerequisites. You do have to take these courses do have prerequisites. They cannot all be completed in fall of sophomore year. So we should ideally remaining on track in your freshman year. ME 14 and 17 are also offered in summer and fall typically, as well as ME 15, which is not a required course. So some students do find that taking the courses in summer is a little bit easier. It's easier to get into them as a non-major. So if you are available in the summer, that could be a good option for you. Students may take courses at community college or CSU. Great. They actually, in mechanical engineering, will require you submit your transcripts to them so they can actually use those grades to calculate a separate GPA, which is different from some of our other majors, right? So all of these have different requirements and they're using grades in different ways to see who's eligible and who will get into the major. So again, this is another major where you have to meet with the advisors. Caitlin and Roy's contact information is there at the bottom of the screen. So one of the biggest hurdles of kind of going down this road is how do I get into these classes? Engineering advisors will always uphold major restrictions. So this is something we want you to be looking for in gold. If you open the course history, or sorry, the course information in gold, and click on restrictions, you'll see something that looks like the screenshot below, where different majors are listed, and sometimes it will say in parentheses a pastime. So we're looking at Math 4A here. In Pass 1, it was limited to certain majors. Sometimes you might say Pass 1 and Pass 2. Sometimes it won't say anything, and that means it's limited in all 3 pastimes. So we want you every quarter to go in, look at what the restrictions are, and understand when you could be eligible to enroll in that course. Things can change quarter to quarter. So just because something was one way this quarter doesn't mean it's the same next quarter. So you need to be keeping on top of this. So we don't have any control over math, chemistry, and physics courses. Those are set by those individual majors and departments. And then the engineering departments control their courses as well. So as noted, the engineering advisors will always uphold the restrictions that are in place and won't provide ad codes until Pass 3 or even after the quarter has started. So we have a little bit more detail on the next slide. Computer science classes. So again, restrictions vary between classes and by quarter. Most times in computer science, the restrictions lift in Pass 3. Always check the restrictions tab in each quarter. If a waitlist goes active, add yourself to it, regardless of if you're eligible in that pastime or not. So waitlists typically become active in Pass 2. They only become active once a course is full. So if you're in Pass 2, you can't get in Pass 2, but there's a wait list active, you should put yourself on it to be closer to the top of the wait list. Like most classes, there's far more availability in summer. Computer Science 16, 24, and 40 are often offered in summer quarter. And as a reminder, Computer Science 24 must be taken at UCSB. Electrical and computer engineering classes, or ECE classes. You submit a request to be considered for enrollment through the ECE inquiry form that's found on their website. It was also on previous pages with their contact information. Ad codes are generally provided by the academic advisor during the first week of instruction, only if seats are available. So they have to make sure they've gotten all of the current ECE students into the courses. Then they will go look at their list and see how many non-majors they can get into the course. ECE does not use the gold waitlisting system, so you will never see waitlists there. You do need to go through their form. Mechanical engineering classes are typically are limited in all 3 pastimes. because of the way that mechanical engineering major is structured and the required coursework for change of major, you're submitting your grades in your math and your chemistry and your physics courses to them. And then in summer or fall, when you want to take a mechanical engineering 14 and 17, they will see, oh, okay, we know this person is still eligible. They're receiving good grades in their math and physics, et cetera. And then they will give you an ad code if there's space in the class. So again, you have to meet with the mechanical engineering major to be advisors to be eligible for this process, so they can give you more information about that. But the mechanical engineering courses, you have to have those prerequisites done before you can take them anyway. All right, submitting your petition. The academic advisor in the major you are petitioning to change to or add as a double major will submit the petition on your behalf through the Student Success Hub after they have determined you are accepted into the major. So they're really, I will say every major has sort of a different way of intaking your information and knowing that you are pursuing this change of major, that you're staying eligible for it. As a reminder, computer science is our one major where you don't have to meet with the advisor ahead of time, but you do need to tell them in week 4 or before of the last quarter where you're completing that last class, hey, I'm completing my last class. I want to be considered for a change of major. There's a form on their website. So be checking the websites, talking to the advisors for more information on how to know if you've been accepted, and then any steps that you need to take. There we go. My computer froze for a second. Let's talk about general education. Since we know most of you who are attending this session are from the College of Letters and Science, we're kind of comparing letters and science requirements to engineering requirements. Our requirements are very, very similar to the College of Letters and Science Bachelor of Science GE requirements. Courses that apply to the Letters and Science Letters and Science General Subject Area Requirements A1, D, E, F, and G will apply to the COE General Subject Area Requirements. Area A2 in College of Engineering is more limited than in Letters and Science. So if you this is particularly in the upper division course offerings for Area A2. If you are thinking about taking one of those courses, thinking about this change of major process, I would suggest looking at our website or contacting one of us in COE to get the list of COE eligible Area A2 courses so that you don't have to double up if you don't want to. Courses that apply to letters and science special subject area requirements. As a reminder, those are ethnicity, European traditions, world cultures, and writing will apply to this engineering special subject area requirements. COE does not have areas B, C, or quantitative relationships. So if you want to delay taking those until later, that's fine. If you are pursuing this change of major process, but we don't have a foreign language requirement, and you're taking plenty of math and physics and chemistry and science requirements, so we don't have area C or quantitative relationships. If you are dual college double major, you must complete the general education of both colleges, but unlimited overlap is allowed, and there is quite a bit of overlap. If you are pursuing a double major, we do encourage you to sit down with a college advisor in both colleges to make sure you fully understand all of the requirements and make sure that you are being as efficient as possible. Okay, some reminders and takeaways. You must contact the department advisor now, ideally in fall quarter, if you are interested in chemical engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering, or mechanical engineering. We recommend waiting until the 3rd week of the quarter. That is just because the advisors are very, very busy these first 2 weeks. They're trying to determine who's getting into their classes and off wait lists. Things can be very hectic. So you will get a quicker response and a little bit more undivided attention if you contact advisors after week 2 or in week 3, 4. Review the change of major requirements on individual department websites. So we've done our best to summarize that for each of the majors today, but there is more information. It's presented in a different format on each individual website. I strongly recommend going there for the major you're interested in, just to make sure you've seen it all laid out, you know where to go when you have questions, etc. Again, have a backup plan. So meet with your College of Letters and Science advisor, have a realistic backup plan and major. If physics is your backup major, again, that physics 20 sequence is required this year in your freshman year. So if physics is your backup major, go to the physics department and discuss making sure you're on track in the physics major. Talk with career services advisors about your interests and goals. Assuming you're all interested in engineering, you can talk with them about what might an alternate major be if I don't get into my engineering major. What are employers in engineering fields looking for if I'm not in an engineering major? Or if you're unsure which engineering major to pursue, they might be able to help you narrow in on the specific major that you're interested in. uh, get involved. So our engineering related student organizations are open to all majors. You do not have to be a declared engineering major. There is a student involvement fair tomorrow, Tuesday, on the Chem Lawn. I don't know the exact time. That's put on by Student Affairs. Um, so I would highly recommend attending that. That is student organizations across the spectrum, every type of activity you could possibly be interested in. And I know some of the engineering orgs will be attending that event as well. Attend career events and network with engineering companies. So we'll have career fairs coming up here pretty quickly in the quarter. There's a career fair every single quarter. Um, Shake off the cobwebs, go talk to folks. It can be hard as a freshman, but I think it's important to um, get a feel for it. Maybe you aren't going to get a job or an internship your first year, but go talk with people, figure out what they're looking for, hand your resume out, get up to date so that you're really ready to go, the following quarter or the following year. Finally, talk with engineering and science faculty and graduate students at getting involved in research. So we do have non-engineering majors involved in engineering research. Especially if at graduate school is your goal, you should have some research experience. We have heard time and time again that graduate students are a great way to get involved in research. So graduate students are the ones teaching your sections and your labs. So chat them up, see what the labs that they are involved in are if they're looking for undergraduates. Engineering for faculty specifically tend to not post lab positions anywhere. They are waiting for people to come to them. So you need to talk with them and network in order to find those opportunities. So I want to leave you with some contact information. The top line is us. So there's 4 of us, College of Engineering advisors. We all respond to that email COE-info that's posted there. And then we have a contact information for the other departments listed there as well. Electrical and computer engineering, Beth and Joanna, they prefer to receive inquiries via a Google form. So that's what's listed there. Sorry for the long link. You can also find that on our website or their website. Feel free to take screenshots, or I believe Sarah and Shark are also posting in the chat with links. That is my last slide. Thank you everyone for your attention. Thank you for attending. We're happy to answer questions from the chat. Or you're welcome to leave. Best of luck with your first week. Welcome to UCSB.